Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We had a situation here in the Publix Plaza in Ponte Vedra. It started about 12:45 today. Our deputies in this part of the county were on the lookout for a reported stolen vehicle out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania. They spotted the vehicle in the parking lot. One of our deputies, he performed a stop. The subject in the vehicle exited the vehicle with a shotgun and fired a couple of rounds at our deputy. The deputy was not struck, nor were any citizens. The deputy did return fire, and then the suspect stayed in the vehicle and locked himself in. Our SWAT team about 20 minutes ago extricated him out of the vehicle. He's been wounded during this incident. We're not sure if it was from us or if it was a self-inflicted wound, but he's being treated right now. We don't want to release his name yet, but he's been taken to the hospital. He's being treated. No citizens have been hurt. The community up here did great. Everybody sheltered in place and did what they needed to do. So without further ado, if there's any questions? Yes.
At what point did the suspect open fire? Was it right?
Immediately, yeah. As soon as the officer exited the vehicle, the subject came out of the vehicle and shot at the deputy twice with a shotgun. So it was a very rapid type incident, and you can imagine what that involves to have to confront. But you know, this is things worked out well. Everybody's safe. We're getting some more background on the suspect to try to find out what the backstory is. But right now, he's being treated, and the citizens are safe, and that's the goal.
Sheriff, we heard a loud pop or a bang. What was that?
The loud bang was probably gas being used to extricate him out of the vehicle. In fact, that's what it was.
It was a stolen vehicle?
Yes, sir. Yes, Ken. It was a stolen vehicle out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania. And they've actually got video of this subject up there getting into the stolen car with a 12-gauge shotgun, but that has not developed out yet. There's a backstory here. We don't.
When was it stolen?
I believe in the last 24 hours. It was very recent, but we don't have the whole backstory yet on that.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It was a black Ford. It is a black Ford Toyota Tundra.
Did he make any kind of traffic infractions that led officers to?
No,
deputies?
we were looking for that stolen vehicle,
Okay.
and then they spotted the stolen vehicle.
How long were they in pursuit of that?
They really weren't in pursuit. They found him as they pulled into the parking lot, and it just went real quick.
How many people, Sheriff, were locked down in this?
Well, we had to lock down a lot. You know, we had people in a motorhome like 10 feet from this incident as it was going. So the first thing we got to do is get everybody safe. But you know, the word gets out with social media and with the media. So everybody stayed locked in place and worked out well.
You're working on his identity. Anything you can share in that?
We got a name, Ken. We've got a name, but we really don't want to release it yet because we're not 100% sure it's that person yet. So we'll get that figured out probably in the next few hours, and we'll get that out to you.
He's wounded, non-life threatening?
I would say life-threatening.
Life-threatening.
That would be my guess. But so he's been gravely wounded, and again, we don't know how. It could have been us, or it could have been him. And you know, the fact of the matter is, the threat was neutralized, and nobody else is in danger right now. So.
Transported to UF Health or?
Not sure. I think I heard him say they were going to fly him from here up to Shands.
How many suspects were there?
One.
One?
Yeah.
Sheriff, are you surprised with such a busy shopping center in the middle of the day here that nobody else was hurt?
Well, nothing really surprises me after 40 years, but I will tell you, whenever we have a situation like this and we can bring it to an end where innocent people are not injured and law enforcement officers are not injured and fire rescue's not injured, it's a good thing. And we hate to see anybody get injured, but we didn't start this, the suspect did.
Do you know where his bullets landed, the suspect's bullets, to give us an idea of how close it could come to somebody to hit somebody's car?
I would just say this, the deputy was probably very fortunate.
Tell us about that ultimate decision, Sheriff, to go up to this suspect who's obviously armed and dangerous, who's obviously not scared to try to harm.
Well, you got competing things. One is you suspect he's injured, right, which we did, and if you suspect he's injured, then you got to try to save this guy's life, which is what we did. So we can't let him sit there for 3 or 4 hours for a couple of reasons. One, we don't want it to go on for 3 or 4 hours, and two, there's a good chance he's in need of medical help, and as it turned out, he was. So we brought it to a very rapid conclusion. And again, there was no other passengers in the car, so that made it easier to make that decision.
At what point did you realize he was injured, Sheriff?
We suspected it before we actually got him out of the vehicle because he had popped up a couple of times, but he was laid down in the vehicle. So we suspected he was wounded somehow, and then he laid still quite a bit. So we weren't sure if he might have expired in the front seat. So we had to get him out of there, and we did. And again, he'll be treated, and we'll see how that goes.
And all your officers are okay?
All the officers are fine.
And you mentioned that the suspect's car was located in the parking lot, but were deputies specifically looking for this vehicle
Yes.
ahead of time?
Yes. They were looking for a black Toyota Tundra with Pennsylvania tags, and they spotted him as he pulled into a parking spot here in the Publix Plaza.
Now that you have a name, Sheriff, I know that you're still doing some more investigation on that, but do you have any indication if this person was just passing through the county?
Don't have any. We don't have any of that backstory yet. We'll be finding it out. Ken?
What about ethnicity and height?
White male, probably in his mid-20s, late 20s.
Clearly a very crowded place.
Yes.
Large population.
Yes.
So very fortunate outcome.
Very fortunate. You know, and I'll tell you, our sergeant that got up here first time, I promoted him about 2 years ago, and he did a spectacular job because these are the kind of things you got to keep from getting worse, and they can get worse real quick. So it was the best outcome we could have hoped for. Obviously, if this gentleman makes it, that would be great, but we don't know that yet.
His first officer involved shooting, the deputy? Is this his first?
I don't believe so. I'd have to check though. I'm not sure.
Do you have any idea the number of shots fired by the deputy and then fired at the deputy?
Not 100% sure.
But both several?
I would say several. Yeah. We'll get all that. Like I said, we've got an active crime scene right now, and it's all being processed. So a lot of this information will develop and come out as the day goes on.
Shelter in place lifted?
Yeah, shelter in place is lifted. The threat's gone, and now, of course, we do have a crime scene in the parking lot, so we got to kind of manage that. But so far, so good.
So again, to recap, one injured suspect.
One injured suspect.
No deputies are injured.
No deputies are injured. No citizens are injured.
The lockdown's been lifted.
Lockdown, shelter in place has been lifted due to this event. The subject fired at the officers. The officer fired back, and we got him in the hospital where he needs to be. So,
How did we know it was here?
we were looking for a stolen vehicle. And we found it here in the parking lot. Okay?
You
All right.
guys have been finding a lot of stolen vehicles lately.
Yes.
In the past week or so, you guys have found 6, 7, I think last I checked was like 9 in the past week or so.
They're very active. Guys are very active out there. We appreciate them. Thank you, folks. Okay.
Thank you.